Business now. A day away from the start of the World Cup. It is the perfect time to revisit the ticketing controversy surrounding the tournament, Charles.
Right. Football is called the people's game, but it appears they're being priced out of it. This World Cup, taking place in the US, Canada, and Mexico, is the most expensive ever when it comes to the match-going experience. Just looking at the cheapest prices for the final to be held in July at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, they're about 4 times higher than the cheapest tickets for the final in Qatar in 2022 at over $2,000 US. And those quote-unquote cheap tickets represent less than 3% of the seats available. The most expensive ones have increased to over $32,000 thanks to a dynamic pricing strategy where prices fluctuate depending on demand. And these are the general sale prices directly distributed by FIFA. When you look at the resale market prices, they can reach what can only be described as astronomical heights. 4 tickets for the final are up for sale at $2.3 million each on FIFA's own resale marketplace. And for the fans, you also have to add flights and accommodation, not to mention transportation costs. $175 for a parking spot or $98 to take the train to the stadium in New Jersey.
Wow, incredible figures. I mean, how should one explain this sudden explosion in costs then?
It's hard not to see this as anything but a cash grab on FIFA's part. In previous tournaments, football's global organizing body was mostly concerned with broadcasting rights and sponsorship rights to generate revenue. Tickets were usually kept at amounts where ordinary fans were able to afford them and allocated through lotteries. This was outsourced to local organizers in the host country. It was also a way to encourage a better atmosphere. The ones who make noise in a stadium aren't the ones in expensive seats, which makes for a better TV product. Well, this time, FIFA took direct control of selling tickets, embracing the dynamic pricing strategy of US ticketers like StubHub or Live Nation, which in case of high demand can lead to huge profit margins. On top of that, they've also opened their own official resale platform where they collect 15% of sales from both the buyer and seller of a ticket. And this has substantially changed the organization's revenue stream. Whereas ticket sales used to be only a minor part of its income in the past, the budget for this year forecasts hospitality and ticket sales representing 34% of the total, worth over $3 billion US, only second behind the traditional moneymaker, broadcasting rights, worth 44% and just under $4 billion.
I assume FIFA defending its policy here?
Well, FIFA President Gianni Infantino's line has basically been to point to natural market forces, supply and demand, and saying, in the customary hyperbolic style that he's now known for, that demand for this tournament was worth 1,000 World Cups at once. So if people are willing to pay so much, then so be it. He also promised that all 104 games in the tournament would be sold out. But whether that's true or not is unclear. Room bookings in host cities appear to be lighter than expected, and there are still tickets available for sale on FIFA's official platform and on resale sites as well, with strange patterns emerging, with blocks of seats appearing all at once, either leading some observers to wonder whether FIFA has been putting its own tickets directly for resale in hopes of generating artificially fueling demand and creating more profit. This and other issues regards to transparency in the ticket purchasing process has prompted authorities in New Jersey and New York and other states to launch probes into FIFA's ticketing practices.
Good analysis, Sean. Thanks very much for that. Next, the current US government may be trying to revive the country's coal industry, but clean energy is actually overtaking it, even despite that.
Yeah, last month saw solar energy account for more electric power than coal in the U.S. for the first time ever, as coal's share of the power grid fell to its 4th lowest ever. That's in spite of the Trump administration canceling renewable energy projects and subsidies and rolling out hundreds of millions of dollars in support for coal. The march towards renewables proving a more economically appealing choice as electricity demand rises amid the AI boom. Brian Quinn has a story.
The sun is rising on renewable energies and setting on the dirtiest of fossil fuels. In the U.S., for the first time ever, May saw solar power provide more electricity than coal, 12.8% versus 12.2%, putting the sun in 3rd place in the U.S.'s energy mix, behind natural gas and nuclear.
Solar power has risen in the US electricity mix. At the same time, coal power has lost its status first as the largest source in the US mix, and then gradually over the years has fallen even further. And this milestone comes as clean power sources are facing ever-increasing policy challenges in the US.
We don't allow windmills.
The Trump administration has indeed shown active hostility towards renewable energies, forcing the cancellation of large offshore wind projects already under construction and withdrawing $7 billion in federal funding to help build out affordable solar projects across the country. The president, meanwhile, has announced a $700 million plan to support the coal industry. It's likely to be in vain. With costs falling, solar has become the top source of new power generation for the past 5 years, accounting for 91% of new capacity built in the first quarter of this year.
The costs of solar have come down, and the technology continues to improve, to the point where today, solar energy is one of the cheapest energy sources available on the market.
Solar's eclipse of coal follows another milestone for clean energy in the U.S. March saw renewables collectively, including wind and hydropower, generate more electricity than gas for the first time ever.
John Bellingham with business. Thanks very much, Charles. Straight